Good morning, gorgeous souls. Today we are talking about stage 1, the first stage of the, I've just changed the title. It's the Wellness Tree Journey. There are 4 stages. A couple of weeks ago, I shared one video of the 4 stages, and this is going to be a little series we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, and I'm going to dive deeper into each stage so you can see where you feel you most resonate with. And this is really about the different stages of consciousness that we all go through, and each stage represents a different archetype that we all have. And these are all found within the Wellness Tree. And these are going to help you wherever you are on your journey, whether you're working on drinking less, you're working on letting that go, you're working towards an alcohol-free life, or you're already sober, you're already alcohol-free, and you want to deepen into your journey. So with these 4 stages, we weave in and out of these, all of us. And not just in our alcohol freedom journey, because it's not about the alcohol, it's about doing life, feeling present and rooted, and uncovering all of the areas, our different life areas, and working on those. So we can use these different stages with our tree for all of the other different life areas as well. And today we're talking about the first stage, which I call the Ostrich. You gotta love the Ostrich. And we've all been there, and I want you to know there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no blame. This is about awareness, and this series is really going to help you hopefully to get some clarity to see which stage you resonate with. If you haven't watched the whole video I did 2 weeks ago, you'll find it in the guide section. I talk about the 4 different stages, and now I'm going to be breaking them down over the next few weeks. So if anything I share resonates with you, just take it as information. It's not anything to beat yourself up with. So the Ostrich stage is really about avoidance, but in a really high functioning way. So it's not a rock bottom. We're talking about grey area drinking, which in itself is a really wide spectrum of different types of drinking. And so if you think of drinking alcohol on a spectrum, you have people at one end of the spectrum that can just have a glass of wine now and again, or a beer or whatever, and they can take it or leave it. It's not a thing. And I used to be that person, and we all want to be that person, but for some of us it just feels too much like damn hard work. And then you have people at the other end of the spectrum who would be considered real highly dependent alcoholics who would need medical detox. And this group, this group is more of a grey area drinking group, which is what I am trained in. I am a grey area drinking coach, and the grey area is this space in between these 2 ends. And this series, this stage of consciousness, these things that I'm going to be sharing with you will help you to navigate this stage and really connect with your own wellness tree within, and give you some clarity, help you to create your freedom plan, your way that feels really good to you, whether you're drinking less, working on drinking none, phasing it out, or deepen into your already sober journey. So it's not rock bottom. Many times with grey area drinking, we just feel this low level, foggy, heavy feeling and it's going to be different for every person. Maybe it's really obvious that alcohol is a problem. Maybe you're just questioning it, and maybe it's bringing some chaos into your life, and you know that things need to change. But it can show up as thoughts we have, like, so ostrich thoughts can be things like, I'm fine, but I don't feel great. It can be, I've got this, but something feels off. So you're still showing up in your life, you're still achieving things, you're still running the show, running the house, running the career, the business, whatever, you're leading, you're doing, you're showing up, but maybe you're definitely not actually fully rooted. So you're not fully connected to yourself. And so this is where everything looks okay on the outside, and you might be plastering that smile on your face, heading out the door or showing up to your Zoom calls with your clients, but inside it, you know, you've got this wine thing, this drinking thing going on, and you know there's more available to you. And so typical ostrich thinking is things like, oh, it's not that bad. I deserve it. We hear those wine witch whispers. We're like, stuff it, it's the weekend. I can stop if I want to. It's no big deal. Everybody's drinking, everybody's doing this, or I'll sort it next week. I'll sort it. I'll look at this properly when I'm less distracted, or I've got more time, or I've got through this big life challenge. And it can, you know, deepening into this, I know this isn't ideal. I know I'm drinking right now and it's not what I want to be doing, but I can't possibly look at it now. I can't possibly think about that now. And I remember these exact thoughts when I was navigating with my husband before we were married, and he was going through terrible, terrible illness with his heart. He was on the waiting list for a heart transplant, and I was drinking. And my relationship with wine had completely changed from one that was really fun and this feels fun and becoming a regular evening habit to, oh my God, what's going to happen to us? This feels really scary. Life feels really unsettling. And it was my tool. And I remember thinking, I can't keep going like this. I know I'm going to be able to deal with this situation, but I can't look at it now. And I'd also be thinking thoughts like, why can't I just stop at one drink? Why can't I? And I don't feel like myself anymore. This just doesn't feel like me. So this is usually the moment where awareness is starting, it's building, it's the soul whispers, it's pulling at our sleeve, but we're burying our head in the sand. We don't want to look at this. It feels too big, it feels too scary. And so this is where action hasn't followed yet, but we can't, we're stuck, head stuck in the sand. And you may notice, I know this is so true for me, I've been there in so many other of my life situations as well. Things like money, things like heavy sugar addiction, binge eating, might not be as extreme as that. It could be just clutter piling up in your home, or bills that you haven't paid, or things that need to be sorted, and it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do that another time. We avoid, we procrastinate, we all can fall into this. And there's stuff going on here. It can be exhaustion. We just feel absolutely exhausted, soul tired, where we're carrying so much. We can feel low energy mornings, even if we've slept all night, we can still be waking up tired. we could be experiencing physical symptoms like bloating, inflammation, and inflammation is inflammation, skin issues, allergies, weight struggles. I've had all of these. Hormonal dips, navigating menopause, perimenopause, underlying anxiety. You know, I went through such high-level anxiety, panic attacks. I was fainting because the present moment just did not feel safe to be present in. And maybe you resonate with that too. So this ostrich stage needs so much love and compassion and kindness, and nothing's going to change unless we change it. We've got to be okay with ripping the mask off, putting our kind of magnifying glass to our eyes and just saying, let's look at this. Even if knees knocking, I feel scared, let me just be open to looking at this. So we can feel, with all of this going on, we can feel disappointed in ourselves, we can feel that shame, and we can feel that frustration because we want to be somewhere else. We want to be over on Pleasure Island having a really, really great time, being able to be present in our life, to be free of this addiction, to be free of this wine thing going on, to just break this flipping cycle. And you know, you can be leading in your life, leading in your business, doing amazingly well, but this part, the wine thing, feels like you're not fully leading yourself here. And it can look like this. So in the morning, you wake up and you say, tonight, I'm not drinking. And then in the afternoon, you feel that stress building, you feel your energy dipping, and it gets to the evening and you're like, sod it, stuff it, I deserve it. And then you have a drink, and then maybe it leads to a second drink, and then the bottle's gone. And then you go to bed and you're feeling like, why did I do that? And you wake up in the night and maybe you're hot, maybe you're sweating, maybe you can feel the alcohol in your system, and it's like that hum. And I remember this, and I used to feel sick, and I used to think, oh, I hope I'm not going to be sick. I don't want to wake my husband, you know, and having this shame, terrible shame. And it wasn't like I was ever really, really drunk. I used to drink, but enough that I was just... So I used to drink around a bottle of wine most nights, and maybe just more at weekends. It can be different amounts for different people, but for me that was a problem. And I would always drink to a point where I'd probably just fall asleep. And I just feel so sick, and it was that misaligned feeling inside. And I'd have this broken sleep, I'd have this regret, this shame, and I couldn't break this pattern. And that's the pattern that we teach our nervous systems. That's the tool that we're teaching it. Now, we really need to be able to shift ourselves out of any shame that we may be feeling. And if this stage is resonating with you, know that there is nothing wrong with you, and you're not stuck here because you're weak and you're powerless and you're a twit. No, it's actually all because it's to do with the nervous system. So our brain is always looking out for danger. It's always looking out to protect us. And we teach our brain, like I taught my brain, we have a glass of wine after work. This is how we unwind. This is what we do. I taught my brain that. So when I stop drinking, my brain is flagging, saying, hey, we need that wine. It's time to have that drink, that thing we always do. And that is the point. That is the point. We're waking up, we're building that awareness, but we haven't actually got anything to replace it yet. So we are here in our ostrich stage feeling stuck because we haven't created a replacement. Now that replacement needs to be structure, it needs to be support, and it needs to be a root system that you can plug yourself into. So alcohol has been doing a job in your life right now, and nothing else is doing that job. Now, we tend to blame alcohol, and I used to do that. And then I was able to move towards a more neutral place. And that's when I realised it's not about the alcohol. What I actually need is a root system to plug into. And when we don't have a root system to plug into, so something that's going to support the nervous system, like tools, alternatives, a way to really calm and relax and soothe and settle in healthy ways, you're not actually operating at your full capacity. So your clarity is dulled, you don't feel confident, and maybe your energy is pretty inconsistent. So your body is carrying the load, and you're aware that you're just not leading yourself well. So this is where really the wellness tree comes in, because right now you're not rooted in ostrich stage. You're not connected to you, to yourself. All of the energy, and I always come from an energy perspective, all of the energy, if you imagine you were the tree, all of the energy is up here in your branches. You're not landing in your roots. So you're busy, you're doing, you're achieving, you're wearing all the hats, but the roots aren't being nourished. And so therefore you're feeling tired, you're feeling heavy, and things are feeling really inconsistent. It may be every Monday is day one again. And we always think, I just need more discipline. I just need to be stronger. I need to get more willpower. I need to be really strict with myself. I've tried this way several times for several years. In fact, pretty much over the last, 20 odd years, it doesn't work. It does not work. Now, there is such a thing as a plan with feel-good rules, because nothing's going to work if it doesn't feel good. And so what you actually want is this root system which we create. I call it a freedom plan. And you bring this in now to support you so you can start having stronger roots to plug into. We want to get the lovely ostrich moving into the next stage, which is the toe dipper stage. She's got her toe in the water. She's coming off, she wants to come off Pain Island, where all of these problems are, where life doesn't feel good. And she wants to get herself to Pleasure Island, to paradise. Not realising that paradise, I call it the paradise lifestyle, where you are living in peace, calm, steady days, able to hold your roots strong, even when life's challenges are happening around you. We need to get you into the toe dipper stage, which is next stage along, to actually be able to test the waters. Now, this is where many people are waking up, they're sober curious, they're really questioning their drinking, they're thinking about taking a break, they're wanting to work, to drink less to none, or they're like, right, I'm done with alcohol, I'm done with this, I want to really seriously start to commit. and then that's when you'd move into the swimmer stage after that, and then the mermaid stage to after that. But let's keep this really simple, really feeling safe for our nervous system right now in this little ostrich stage. This is like the kind of the rebirth. We're in this kind of pregnancy stage. We're just looking at this. We're just getting curious. It's really gentle, but also we need to take responsibility. We need to be ready to create positive change. And just know that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to quit everything right now. That can just feel so overwhelming for the nervous system. Don't need to be perfect. In fact, we have to be okay with this being messy. It's what I talk about in Strong Roots. Be okay with mess. Be okay with failure, because it's feedback. It's how we learn. We need it. We need that. It's part of our medicine. It helps us to grow. So what we actually need to do is to look at this honestly. Stop normalizing what doesn't feel good. Look at what this is really costing you in terms of your energy, your precious life force energy, which is the most important thing that you have. So we want to take alcohol off the pedestal and put our energy on the pedestal. That is the most important thing. We want to stop wasting money, so much money, on alcohol. And not just that, what else are you doing? Because for me, I was buying loads of toxic junk, chewy flapjacks, chewy Haribo bags, family bag size of crisps. I was shopping on Amazon a lot. I was going out to the shops, spending money, desperate to fill this empty hole I felt within. So just start for you, like looking with honest, curious eyes, and it's really, really good to journal on this, and just ask, like, what's leaking here? What's this costing me to stay with my head stuck in the sand? A really great question I sometimes ask myself is, what am I avoiding in all of my different life areas? What am I avoiding? What do I keep putting off? Because it feels horrible, it feels safe, I don't want to look at it. But when we toe dip into that difficult thing and we take some action on it, even a small baby step, we immediately unlock new energy, because we're like, go me, I took action today. You know, is it tracking money? Is it paying bills? Is it taking responsibility for things that you find really difficult to do? So what is a new way for you that, for example, in the evening you can unwind in a way that feels really good? We've literally got ladies in Strong Roots practicing this. This is my monthly membership. They're literally letting go of alcohol. They're doing it together. Some are alcohol free, some are still drinking, but they're letting it go. They're toe dipping. They're like, right, I'm doing it. Some of them have done sober stretches before, and they want to come back and just get back on track with more consistency and more confidence. So we're not forcing change, we're creating awareness and support. So most people, especially when they're in ostrich stage, will say, let me just be more disciplined. I need to create a new plan. I just need to change my entire life, and I need to be good. I need to, have this fresh, new, shiny start. I just need to do a whole life overhaul. And then what happens is they'll create such ridiculously high standards for themselves, particularly high achieving women. And I did this too. And then they'll fail because it was such a high target to meet. Such high demands we put on ourselves. So I say scrap all of that, scrap all of that, do it one of the ways. There's many, many ways to do this, but I like to do it the wellness tree way, where we focus on really small, simple, achievable habits, conscious choices. And that's where I really encourage you to have a freedom plan in place. If you want a little bit of help with this, a few pointers in the right direction, you have specific questions on this, pop them below this video or feel free to private message me, because we want to get you to the next stage, to the toe dipper. Now, doing this, I love to think of this in terms of stretching our nervous system, training and stretching ourselves. So we're kind of thinking like a rubber band, like what feels, where's the edge? If you think in terms of your nervous system, where's the edge of your safety feeling? So if you wanted to take a break from drinking, how long would you like to take a break for? I did this in really baby steps, you know, a week, and even that was a challenge to start off with, but then a month, then 3 months, then I did a year, then I did another, and so on. And that was 10 years ago. I started my alcohol freedom journey. I've had drinking experiments in that time, in the first few years, but I haven't had any alcohol at all in the last 5 years, and I don't plan to have any. Now, the thing is, I haven't banned alcohol. I have never told myself, that's it, you can't drink anymore, because that doesn't work for me. But I don't want it. I literally don't want it. And that's huge for me, because I was somebody that wanted to drink wine every night. I loved wine. Wine was my best friend. It felt so fun to have wine and go out to the sunny pub gardens and just... But then it started not being fun. And I had such a love-hate relationship with it. And I tried for years to moderate. But it took so much effort, so much time. And this is where, you know, people really have to find their own way with it and do what feels good. Many people can just let it go. It's not a thing. Many people, they're stuck. Many people choose alcohol freedom because it just feels so much easier. So I would love to hear from you. Who here, give me a yes, Ostrich, if you resonate with this stage. And if you're ready to move to toe dipper, type toe dipper. And I will see you next week. We are going to be diving into toe dipper. It's going to get really exciting. I can't wait. I have so much to share with you. That's it. I'm just checking I've said everything I wanted to. So I'd love to know if this resonated with you, and I will see you all same time next week. Take care, gorgeous souls. Bye.